Hi, Scorpio, Sun, Moon, and Ascendant. This is Dane, and I'm going to be doing your February 1st to the 15th, 2024 reading for you. Now, I ask if this reading resonates with you. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. It helps me out tremendously, and it gets this channel seen by the YouTube algorithm. So thank you so very much for doing so. So let's see what the tarot has to say. Angels, ooh, I love it. Just flew right out. The Three of Cups and the Eight of Swords reversed. Interesting. Angels and spirit guides show me clearly. We have the Empress. I love that for you, Scorpio. Angels and spirit guides show me clearly. We have the Hermit reversed. We have the Four of Wands reversed. And we have the Two of Swords. Ooh, okay. So there's something here that's not going the way that you want it to, and you're going to kind of like, you're going to want to kind of shut things away, or you're going to say, okay, you're going to react in one or two ways. Like the Hermit reverse is not being a hermit at all. It's like wanting to get out there, do everything, like be in the midst of everything. But I do see with the Four of Cups, not the Four of Cups, the Four of Wands reverse, I see closing the door, like slamming the door. Now, I don't know if you slam the door, leave, and like have a night on the town or something like that, Scorpio. But there's an energy here where it's like really what you want to do is hide away. But what you're going to do is like be in the midst of everything to like prove a point. So just be mindful about that during this time, because if you're doing something like out of spite, it's just not going to end the way that you want it to. So do be mindful about this. There is something here that you've dedicated yourself to. So the Four of Wands is a marriage card, right, in the minor arcana. So it can be that we have a relationship that doesn't go the way that we want it to. We can have something that we're dedicated to, that we're hitting a rough spot with. It doesn't mean that it's over. I know we said, marriage, so we think, okay, opposite of marriage is divorce. But here it is a commitment that we've given ourselves to that's going through a hard time. So just be mindful about this during this time, that you might be thinking, okay, how do I move forward for me, and where do I need to be for me? It's not throwing in the towel yet because we don't have the divorce card. We just don't. But it is sitting there looking at things and saying, what do I need to change? Like, do I need to change this in a relationship, like a personal relationship, a work relationship? Do I need to change my outlook on the way that I'm taking things in, seeing things, understanding things? Excuse me. We're crowned by the Three of Cups. The Three of Cups is celebration, it's love, it's people cheering for you, raising their glass to you. With the Eight of Swords, all right, there is a sense of, with the Eight of Swords reversed, we're letting go of a lot of fears, a lot of doubts, a lot of chaos, a lot of self-doubt, and we're stepping into the Empress energy. So the Empress energy is stepping into our power, stepping into seeing ourselves, stepping into our creativity, stepping into birthing forward our energy into this world. And the Hermit is like, the Hermit reverse is like, I'm not closing the door on myself. Now I do hear that slamming of the door. There's something different here. Somebody's having a fight. Like that's just it. Somebody's having a fight, and you're going to want to kind of like get back at the person by being a little bit spiteful, a little bit vengeful. It's not going to work the way that you want it to. It's not going to have the outcome that you want. So whomever that is that's watching, that's like, oh, I just had the fight with that person. Calm it down and center yourself and start taking care of you. Start taking care of you. Don't think about the other person, the other situation. Start being like, okay, what do I need to do for me right now? How do I need to show up for me? Okay. With the Empress, with this creative energy that's moving us forward, the Hermit reverse is like, I don't want to be hiding away anymore. I need to have this come forward. It's enough of like sitting and ruminating. I need to birth it forward. I need to be activating this creative energy. With the Four of Wands, something that we are committed to, okay? Or something that we thought we would be celebrating. We're not celebrating. The commitment isn't going the way that we thought. We're going to have to look at it in a different light, and we're going to start looking at it in a different light. With the Two of Swords reversed, we're going to try and make one or two paths work. We're going to be like, it's either A or it's B. That's it. Those are your options. Like, that's all you got. And Spirit is saying here, no, that's not all you have. You have to look at it, and you have to be opened, and you're going to start to see things moving in a more unconventional way. But for one reason or another, Scorpio, we're going to be fighting that. So just be mindful about this during this time. Let's see what Spirit has to say. And if you're interested in entering to receive a free reading, put a snowflake in the comment box below. A person will be chosen at random and announced on the 1st of February. So good luck to everyone. And yeah, the The announcement will be done in a completely separate video, so don't be scammed by anybody contacting you in the comment box pretending to be me. It will not be me. And if you're interested in purchasing a private reading, a private personalized meditation, or a healing, check out my website, daneharttarot.com. So let's see what Spirit has to say, angels and spirit guides. Here we have mindful reversed. That makes sense because I do see us being a little bit more reactionary, and that seems to be just part of the astrology of this time. We need to be more mindful of the fact that we're not being mindful. So that sounds contradictory, but we need to know that wherever our mind wanders to, we're going to find that our emotions wander to that as well. So this is being a little bit more disciplined with our mind. And this is saying to ourselves, okay, what do I want to move forward in? Because even if we're worried, like, oh my gosh, I'm worried I'm never going to have this thing that I always dreamt of having in my life and it's never going to come true. It's kind of like, okay, getting married, right? So you can sit there and be saying to yourself, oh my gosh, I'm just getting older. Nobody's ever going to love me. I'm not going to get married. And it's all going to be terrible, right? You start bringing that energy forward. Either you meet somebody who's thinking the exact same thing and you come together with the energy, kind of like the underlying energy of like, nobody's going to love me type of thing. Or you sit there and you look at that and say, that's absolutely ridiculous. I'm absolutely lovable. And I will totally rock being me until I'm a we, So just be aware of this during this time. And it's like using a relationship is the easiest way to convey it, but it is also at work. Like, I'm never going to have my dream job. I'm getting too old. We always say this to ourselves. I'm getting too old. You're not getting too old. You're not. Stop it. Stop it. We tend to get fixated on one way of doing things or, the 30s under 30 list. Stop it. Let yourself be successful at your divine time to be successful. Let yourself shine. And it doesn't have to mean that you own multiple houses and multiple cars and multiple this and multiple that. It means that you are successful within your soul and yourself and your purpose here on this earthly plane. Spirit doesn't count dollar bills. It just doesn't. So here, being mindful of the chaos that we have within ourselves, being mindful of the way our mind wanders, and just showing up for ourselves with love and respect and saying, I love you. Say that to yourself, Scorpio. I love you. I'm blessed, forget the rest. I'm moving forward in my blessings. I'm powerful. I'm beautiful. I'm successful. And when the fear starts to come in, move into calm, move into your creativity, move into opening the door to who you are. Because there's a sense of like, we're trying to emulate something else. And it can be even just like the idea of success that we've seen. We're trying to emulate that. And Spirit's like, why not step into you? Why not be proudly and beautifully you? It moves us to our chakra energy, angels and spirit guides. Show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. This is clarity reverse. This is the third eye chakra. We need to focus on our third eye. We need to kind of exhale and know that, okay, things right now, not as clear, a little bit murky. Focusing on our third eye, calming things down, and just letting ourselves breathe is going to be one of the best ways to bring forward our clarity, to bring forward our understanding. And it moves us then to our energy to be mindful of. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. And this is the Ace of Cups, that our emotions can be really intense during this time. It can be. And we can feel almost like our emotions are having us and we're not having emotions. We can just be swept away with this and swept away with that. And it's because the Ace of Cups, it's a blessing, yes. But when the Ace of Cups comes in, it is God's source spirit, however you see the divine, the universe, handing us a gift of healing, beautiful love. And it's just like the cup is overflowing. So we can find that we cry easily. We can find that it's hard for us to really pin down our emotions because we're having so many of them, or they're so intense, and everything becomes just a little bit scary. Everything becomes a little bit sad. Everything becomes a little bit overwhelming. And Spirit's like, okay, like that's where it is. Like, it's on intensity right now. And we have to say to Spirit, okay, I need to see my heart. I need to connect with my heart. I need to embrace what I love. And we see ourselves moving forward. We see ourselves, opening up to our joys. And it'll be very easy during this time to have our emotions just be, we're just going to feel like it's too much. So we want to shut them down. And Spirit's like, no, let yourself feel, because it's letting yourself purge. It is letting yourself, take all the chaos that has been building up inside of us. And it's like, I'm letting it go. This is all the feelings that I haven't been letting myself feel. I'm letting it go. And we can see that in meditation if we sit and we let ourselves really embrace our feelings and we see them like flying out of us like butterflies or like smoke. And we can say to them, thank you. Thank you for being there, for protecting me, for connecting. And now it's time to stand in the energy of now instead of the energy of yesteryear. It moves us then to, let's see the correlation between the tarot and the astrology of it all. It moves us then to the astrology. That's what I was trying to say. So on the 1st of February, excuse me, I'm going to cough. I'm going to take a sip of water. Now it's really good for the throat. I don't know if anybody needs this, but rosemary, the herb rosemary, just in water, you can kind of make it like a tea, right? In boiling water and let it sit, let it cool down. That is so good for the throat. It's so soothing. So if anybody needs that, that is absolutely excellent. Okay, so let's see what the astrology has to say. We have on the 1st of February, we have the moon in Scorpio squared Pluto in Aquarius. Be mindful of struggles over power and control. And we see that it's coming out emotionally. We feel things, whether we want to or not, we're going to feel things. We're also releasing a lot of the stress that we have, a lot of the way of being in our own mind, in our own head. Try not to get sucked into drama during this time. Really, seriously, it's going to be super easy. Don't do it. Don't do it. We see that here with this right here, right? We can easily be sucked into the drama and it can take over everything. It can start on the 1st and just not give up for all of February. So just be aware of that. On the 2nd of February, we have Mercury in Capricorn, sextile Neptune in Pisces. We need to really embrace our imagination. This is our imagination on overload. We need to embrace our imagination. We need to let ourselves shine, work forward in creativity, like really embrace our hobbies, embrace things that let us feel creative and inventive and keeps us focused. Also things that we can do with other people and celebrate, like those with people that we love. That's just going to be so good for us. On the 3rd of February, we have the moon in Scorpio, sextile Mercury in Capricorn. This is going to keep us busy. We're going to be very busy on projects, new ideas, new information. We can keep a notebook by us because we're going to have so many ideas during this time. On the 4th of February, we have the moon in Sagittarius squared Saturn in Pisces. We are a bit impatient, and we are a bit impatient just in general. So do be mindful about this. We need to give ourselves time to get things done. Do not expect too much from yourself on the 4th. Go slow, go steady, be kind to yourself. On the 5th, we have Mercury entering into Aquarius. Now, with Mercury moving into Aquarius, this brings a really big sense of, insight, of unexpected ideas. It's like unconventional ideas. We're kind of firing a mile a minute with everything. We're going to think outside of the box and we're going to really be planning changes. Like, how do I move forward? How do I do this? How do I do that? Make sure during this time that we're not simply running away. All right. And we also have the sense of it has to be one or two ways. So with all these ideas coming in, don't censor them and be like, oh, but it has to be like this. It has to be like this. And anything that doesn't fit in our narrowed sense of what it should be during this time just won't be. So just be mindful about this during this time. We also have Mercury in Aquarius, conjunct Pluto in Aquarius, which this is us really focusing on our intensity. We're going to be, we're going to be intense. We're going to be focusing on getting the job done, moving things forward, change. We have flashes. Everybody has flashes during this time of intuition and premonition. Connect with that. It's going to be so easy to. Is somebody eating an egg salad? Oh my gosh. I'm sorry. Just like that just came through so powerfully. But or hard-boiled eggs. There's a sense here of the intuition comes in and it's like connect and listen to it. And it's going to be something just like, I guess maybe Spirit was proving my point. It's going to be something like that just seems completely out of the blue. It's like, where did that come from? And yet it's going to be guiding you. So just be aware of this during this time. On the 6th of February, we have the moon in Capricorn trine Jupiter in Taurus. We're going to be very optimistic on this day. Like, this is going to be a really good day for us. Our Empress energy of like, I know where I'm going. I know what I'm doing. Surrounding ourselves with positive people. We tend to look on the bright side on the 6th of February and we really let ourselves shine. And we're going to be like, yeah, I can shine. I can absolutely embrace this. On the 7th of February, we have Venus in Capricorn, trine Uranus in Taurus. Now, we're going to see And we're really looking to improve our relationships with people, with ourselves. We're open to like new ideas. We're looking at like connecting, new social circles, new ways of networking, new ways of just connecting with people. It doesn't even have to be that it's like, oh, this has to, make me money, or do this or do that, or I have to make like best friends right here, right now. We just want to feel part of a community. And that's going to be really important. And that's just going to be really important, period. We've all become rather isolated in our own worlds. We carry a computer in our pocket. We can zone out so easily. And what Spirit is showing us here is that that connection in the relationships is just going to be so important. And we're also super personable. We're super personable during this time, Scorpio. So just really embrace that. Also on the 7th, we have Mars in Capricorn, sextile Neptune in Pisces. We're intuitive, we're creative, we're inspired. Our imagination can drive us forward in ways that we hadn't imagined. We're really looking to step out of our comfort zone as well. So that's going to be really important for us too, to really let ourselves create and cultivate and say, what about this? What about that? This is a time of like slapping paint at the wall, like letting paint just splatter everywhere, come up, and it's like, oh, what about this? Oh, that looks so cool. And just see what transpires. On the 8th of February, we have the Sun in Aquarius squared Uranus in Taurus. This makes us a little bit impulsive. Like, so just be mindful about this during this time. We're also trying to run away from our emotions. So impulsivity is going to be really big for us, and it's going to be really easy to fall into that. So just be aware of that during this time. We're also going to be getting to the heart of issues. Now, it doesn't mean health wise, but it does mean that we're going to be looking at things that have been weighing heavily on our hearts. And we're going to be saying to ourselves, what is going on here? And because there's such intense emotions, because we're getting out of our own head, because we're seeing certain barriers falling down, and there's almost a sense now of like, well, I can't fix that. Like, why waste my time? We're going to start to see like, oh, that wasn't the issue. Like, the issue wasn't what I thought it was, like XYZ. The issue was so much deeper. And we're starting to see that. We're starting to see things come to the surface that were just pushed down, pushed down, pushed down. And it's like, oh, now I see me. And it brings us then to the 9th of February, which is intense, okay? Because the 9th of February, we're just impatient. We have the moon in Aquarius squared Uranus in Taurus. We're impatient, and we really, it can get the better of us. We're really not showing up for ourselves, for anybody else, especially if we're a teacher. Like, this is going to be a day that can be really, really hard for us. So if you have lectures planned, if you have, classes planned, if you have, to teach, these courses, or to do this or to do that, and it's all about teaching, even if it's about like, oh, can you train this person? It's going to be hard. We don't have the patience for it. So if you can't like just not show up, like call out sick, if you can't do that, doing it slow would be excellent, not getting through everything that you thought you were going to get through. But also, kind of, instead of making it something new and something like really intense, if you can make it just calmer, that's also going to be really helpful for you. It's like, okay, because then if I can make it calmer, if I can make it more centered, then I'll be able to handle it. And that's really what we want to be focusing on. Not if everybody else can be able to handle it. We have to be a little bit selfish during this time, Scorpio. And then it moves us to the 10th of February, which is Mercury in Aquarius, square Jupiter in Taurus. And I keep on saying that this is the hangover day from the 9th, where we're just impatient, we're irritated, we're like frustrated. And here, it's a bit of a lazy day. Give yourself a break. Give yourself a break. You're not going to want to kind of like take it slow. You're going to want to be in the middle of everything, right? But also know that if you have Virgo energy in your chart during this time, if you have Virgos in your life, they're just going to be rubbing you the wrong way. So just be aware of this during this time. I don't think we said that earlier. On the 11th of February, we have the moon in Pisces, sextile Venus in Capricorn. This is a day where we're looking at finding balance. We're looking at things that are out of balance in our life, that are out of harmony in our existence. And we're like, no, I'm not doing that anymore. I'm not having this chaos here anymore. And we're going to see ourselves falling into balance with ourselves, falling into harmony with ourselves, showing up for ourselves more and more and more. And this is going to make us feel more secure, because we didn't realize that we were knocking off our chi. We were knocking off our own energy by having all this chaos around us. And we're going to start to see a sense of release. And it's going to be very interesting how that manifests us forward. It brings us then to our I was going to say our subconscious, but now it brings us to the 12th of February. It brings us to the moon in Pisces conjunct Neptune in Pisces. This is a compassionate time, and it can bring our subconscious forward because Scorpio, we're very sensitive individuals. People don't always see that. Scorpio is considered one of the most mysterious, hard to understand. It can even be most like annoying or one of the most annoying. Gemini is usually up there too, you know, zodiac sign. And it's just because it's easy to misunderstand Scorpio. It just is. Scorpios operate on a different wavelength. All right. Your veil is, you're so closely linked to the spirit world that the veil between you and the spirit world isn't as intense as it is for others. And that can be disconcerting for some people to get. Your connection with the spirit world, your connection with secrets, your connection with seeing things that other people cannot see. That's important. And it can be disconcerting for people. Also, the Scorpio is linked to the scorpion, right? So, intensity, the sting, the smaller the Scorpio, smaller the scorpion, the deadlier the sting. So it can take people by surprise. But what we're going to see here is that our compassion, our way of looking at the world, the way that we empathically connect, that's going to serve us really well on this day. And it's going to be part of a really powerful connection for this day. And we're going to see that this is a day, and everybody's going to see it, where we'll get more joy and satisfaction out of helping others. It moves us to the 13th of February. We have Mars in Aquarius, Mars entering into Aquarius. Now, Mars is the planet of energy and drive. This moving into Aquarius brings enthusiasm and motivation and, a motivation for change. It brings us to really looking at our future and be like, how am I going to move forward? Where is it that I want to be? We're embracing the unconventional. We're stepping towards our dreams. We're letting our dreams come forward. The unusual is intriguing to us. We don't want to keep it one certain way. So we're kind of rebelling against the Two of Swords reverse. So just be aware of that. Also on the 13th of February, we have Venus in Capricorn, sextile Neptune in Pisces. Our relationships really benefit from a gentle touch. Our relationships with ourselves, our relationships with others, being kind, being gentle, being compassionate. This is going to be a game changer. And we're going to see that it moves us forward in a way that is like, oh, I just needed to be kind to me, right? And so if we move forward on the 13th with this energy of I love you, with this energy of you're good enough, with this energy of just calming it down and centering ourselves, we're going to be surprised at the results that we see. We're going to be surprised at the way our heart opens, the way that others' hearts open to us. It's like I'm embracing this calm and this beauty, and it's changing the game. And it's really funny because I really think the 13th of February's energy is really suited for Valentine's Day, which my nephew calls I Love You Day, which I think is adorable. And here on the 14th, we have very much workaholic energy. So we have Mars in Aquarius conjunct Pluto in Aquarius. We're really focusing on our future. We're focusing on what, on the importance of what motivates us to keep on moving forward, on our passion, on our pursuit for transformation, on, growing and, catapulting our dreams forward and going after what we want. So just be mindful about this, that we can get in a bit of trouble on the I love you day. Instead of saying I love you, it's like I have to work, type of thing, or this is taking up all my time. So just be aware of this. Just be aware of this during this time because we need to connect. We have the Three of Cups. It's like the love, the compassion, the caring, the showing up for each other, the Empress of cultivating and nurturing and growing and connecting. That's going to be so important to us. And yet we're going to be so easily caught up in everything else, that we're going to forget. We're going to forget that we need to show up and care for ourselves and care for those that we really love around us. It moves us then to the 15th of February, which is the moon in Taurus conjunct Uranus in Taurus. And this is a time of change. It can be big change, it can be small change, but it's a time of change. We're releasing, with the Eight of Swords, we're releasing so much doubt, so much fear, so much chaos that we're actually letting ourselves breathe. We're letting ourselves step into ourselves. And that's going to be a very big thing for us, even though we are a bit afraid, Scorpio, of truly stepping into our heart. So just be aware of this. Our subconscious spirit message is clarity. It's interesting that clarity with the third eye chakra is reversed and then clarity comes forward. So subconsciously we see. And what's interesting is really notice the dragons. In just a few readings ago, before the February 1st to the 15th readings. And the clarity comes. But I see this as a slaying of the dragons, a time where you look at your fears and your doubts and the chaos that's around you. And it's like, I'm not going to let the fear of the dragons dictate to me anymore. So it can be we slay the dragons, right? Or it can be that we become friends with the dragons. Like we tame the dragons, connect with the dragons, or we don't have to tame them, but we respect them and they respect us. And there's going to be a beauty there. There's going to be a fear that once overpowered us that is going to become a harmony of insight. We're going to be looking at things that we're really afraid of. And I would highly suggest writing it down. Write down what you're afraid of, Scorpio. And then start to see during this time, as you embrace your heart, as you embrace I love you, as you calm and center yourself, you're going to see that you start tackling those fears without even realizing it. It moves us then to our subconscious chakra energy, which is spiritual awakening. And this is the crown chakra. We are going to be awakening. We are going to be stepping into our knowledge. We're going to be looking at ourselves in a completely different way than before. And this is a time where we can do the meditation of what crown are you putting on your head? Take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you, and see a beautiful purple velvet box placed in front of you. And with gentle, careful hands, open that box and see that it reveals the most exquisite crown. Put that crown on your head. Take it with reverent fingers out of the box and put that crown on your head. Feel that crown resting above your third eye as it slips over your head. As you awaken, as you connect, and as you strengthen your bond with spirit, what information comes forward? What clarity do you now have? All right. Now, our subconscious energy to be mindful of is the Strength card. This is Leo energy, and it can be mindful of a Leo, but it is also be mindful of misconstruing, might equals right. This is embracing our strength. This is embracing our tenacity. But this is saying here that some of the strongest people, with the Strength card, some of the strongest people are ones that you would completely overlook. You would think, oh no, that person's weak. Oh no, that person's frail. One of the strongest people I've ever known, or the strongest people I have ever known, are my great grandmother, my grandma, and my mom. And you would look at them, not one of them is over, 5'4", right? And you would think they're not strong, especially my 98-year-old great grandmother. She wasn't strong. You would look at her and be like, oh, the wind could blow her over. But she was so strong. We judge by what we see. We judge by, what we think it's supposed to be. Strength is the tenacity of the spirit. It is the ability to love and laugh and be joyous when the world is cruel and harsh and chaotic. And it's the ability to instill that in others as well. We can lift, hundreds of pounds. We can run miles in minutes. But how do we deal with adversity? The strength is from the inside out. And yes, it's important to be physically strong, yes. But spiritually strong, emotionally strong, that is amazing. That is amazing. So be mindful about that. We're going to think strong equals, what everybody else thinks is strong. The more money, the more muscles, the more this, the more that. Sometimes strong is standing in the essence of you, fully seeing yourself and not being afraid. Our subconscious tarot message is temperance reversed. And things are out of balance. This is also Sagittarius energy. We might be out of balance with Sagittarius energy. So if you're born on the cusp with Sagittarius, or you have Sagittarius in your chart, just know that this can give you a bit of trouble, or you have Sagittarians in your life. But here, there is a sense of, okay, what's out of balance? What's out of harmony? Subconsciously, we need to sit in that energy. And again, because we're feeling everything so much, it'll be very easy for that to be flooded. And because we also want to be, in the middle of everything, because we want to kind of like dull down the feelings, we can miss what's out of balance here. All right, Scorpio. I hope this reading has resonated with you. I wish you nothing but light, love, peace, and happiness. May harmony always be with you. I am sending loving, healing energy to each and every one of you. I love you all, and stay safe. Let's end this reading with a meditation, a clearing away of negative energy, a raising of our positive energy as we embrace the power, intensity, and beauty of this time and of ourselves. And note that this meditation and healing will be accompanied by a loud sound. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. May you move forward in peace and in harmony, Scorpio. May blessings and prosperity always be with you. I love you all. God bless. Bye.